thank you all for making the time to be here. I think this is a really neat format we have planned for today. This is our second community call that the Chamber's put on. For those of you who I haven't met yet, it's very nice to meet you or see you and hear you. My name is Heidi Butzi, and I'm the proud President and CEO of the Lomita Chamber of Commerce. We reestablished the Chamber as a brand new organization and entity a year ago on April 4th. So we're coming into our first year of organization as a new business association and community outreach. So we're really have seen a lot change, obviously, as we all have in a short period of time, but we are committed as a chamber and through our membership to supporting our businesses and putting the community together and through vehicles like this as we navigate what the new normal looks like. So today we're last time we covered a few other things. We covered some small business survival tips, you know, looking at what businesses maybe needed to think about right now in this transition period. And that ranged from everything from sort of financial planning, marketing, where costs could be cut. And then we talked about some of the financial assistance programs available through the SBA. So our contacts at the Small Business Development Center has been very helpful in helping people navigate that process. We know it's been challenging, and so I did speak to him today, and hopefully by the end of the day we will have another update on what the next steps are for that process. For those who are interested in the SBA information, stay tuned, and we might do another follow-up community call to talk about where that's headed right now. There is another round of funding that's been approved, so again, it's patience and a matter of getting that out to the applicants. So today we're going to shift gears and talk about the community resources and programs that we have. We're going to hear from our members of our Health and Wellness Committee, as well as some of the other community resources and programs that are here on the line with us today. And then we're going to have an opportunity to hear from Alicia Velasco, who's the Community and Development Director for the City of Lomita. I just want to say that we have a few folks on the line who are members. We're going to hear from Jim Leadham from Home Health Depot. They're on PCH. I expect that Adam Chiropractic will be on the line. We have Anita Chun from Torrance Memorial Medical Center, and we have Ken and Victor from the Peister and Family Foundation. And I hope that we have Community's Child who will be joining us as well to talk about what they've been doing in terms of food pantries and serving food to our families in this community and meal delivery. So with that, we will hear from each of our guests. We ask that if you have a question to please put it in the chat, and then we will make sure that we address those questions to the people that you're asking, and we'll open it up to a Q&A at the end. So this is fluid. So again, keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking, and put your question in the chat box. And if we don't get to your question, we'll make sure that we follow up with you after this. So with that, Jim, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to have you go first to talk about Home Health Depot. So Jeff, did you want to unmute Jim, and he can go ahead and give us an update on what's going on with his business and how he's serving our community?
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're over on PCH, been there for 20 years now. We are durable medical equipment, which means we have hospital beds, wheelchairs, things for mobility, things for safety, like bath safety. All of our work is done in-house. We don't use any subcontractors. And mostly what we want to do is make people safe and independent in the home. We want them to come out of the hospital or come out of rehab or an accident or whatever they're coming from, whatever their situation, and have everything they need at home to mobilize around the home, to be able to take care of their own daily chores, whether it be making a meal or just going to the bathroom. I know that sounds terrible, but a lot of times people are limited in their amount of movement. So we make sure that they're safe and can get around easily. We do a lot of things that other people don't do. We install grab bars for people. A lot of places won't do that. We install stair lifts, so if you have a two-story house, you can actually get from one floor to the other floor safely. We even rent a lot of the equipment, including the stair lifts. We have ramps to get in and out of the house or a split-level house. Our goal is to make sure that when they're moving around, they're safe. Probably the most dangerous room in the house is the bathroom. So we have lots of equipment that will make it easy to get in and out of the shower, in and out of the bathtub, things that are easy to hold on to and easy to install or even disinstall if they want to change residence. Let's see. I think that pretty well covers it. I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you very much for allowing me to speak. And we're on a short staff. We're on short hours. I basically applied for the payroll protection plan, a paycheck protection plan. And so in the meantime, since I don't have it yet, I basically cut everybody's hours by almost 25%, cut the store hours back so that I can stagger employees. I have also filed for the ERDL loan, and I got my application number, but that's about as far as it went. I've applied for 3 other grants, none of which have come through, but hey, every time I spot one coming up either in social media or on my email or anything, okay, I'll go do that one. And then you hope for the best. I originally applied for the PPP with Wells Fargo. That went obviously nowhere, as no one else's did. So I realized probably about 3 days afterwards that Wells Fargo wasn't going to do anything. And I applied again. I know you're not supposed to, but I applied a second time to a smaller bank. And that has been approved. I'm simply waiting now for the underwriter to finish the paperwork. And mine actually is going to happen from the first round, which I'm real excited about. So there are alternatives if you have signed up with somebody like Chase or B of A and you've gotten nowhere. Try a smaller bank, fill out another application. To heck with the thing where it says it says you can't take more than one loan, but you can certainly apply for more than one.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I know we were going to get too far on the financial side, but I appreciate that update, Jim, because, a lot of people just don't know where things are at right now. And like I said, I hope to get another update. My understanding, if anybody has gone through this process and applied, if you have a loan application number, that's a good thing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, some of those can be funded. I'm not making any guarantees. That's not my position, but based on our contact at the SBDC, they did say you don't need to go through the process again if you have a loan application number, which I hope stays the same. Stuff changes quickly around here, so I'm hoping that let's say backlog may be considered, in that line of priority. But you're right, Jim. You apply for all the different things that are out there and kind of stack it up so you get as much as you can to get you through this period of time. So thanks for sharing that. And thanks for all you do to support our community. I mean, Home Health Depot's been in business now for how long? 15, 20 years?
20 years. My anniversary is April 1st, 1999.
Wonderful.
So we're right around the same time as you.
Fantastic. So love it. So if you have people who have these needs, Jim is here. He's independent, he's local, and a very powerful resource in our community. I'm going to switch gears now and hand it over to Anita Chun from Torrance Memorial Medical Center. Anita, did you want to share some of the resources you guys have available and what you've got going on there at the hospital? Is she muted?
Another way to unmute yourself is just hit the space bar, by the way.
I think she's on her phone. There we go. There we go. I see her connecting. Stand by. Okay. Are you there, Anita? If not, we'll shift gears to another person on deck. Okay. Jeff, I don't know if you can reach out to Anita, but if you can maybe message her and try to work through this. I'm gonna toss it over to the neighbors to Home Health Depot, Adam Chiropractic. Bonnie, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. So we're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Dr. Adam is helping to school his kids on Tuesday and Thursday. Things are pretty steady. He did apply for the PPP and he did get it. So we are so grateful for that. He hasn't had to lay anybody off. He did have to let the massage therapist go on a break, but that's only because the massage board isn't letting anybody do massage. So we're good there. Right now, we're just focused on helping the community however we can. We've really partnered with Community's Child, and so we're helping them out as much as possible Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are their big days to give the food out to the community, and Thursdays they really are preparing all the food. And then on Fridays, they're delivering to the community. So what I would really suggest to everybody is that you reach out to any seniors that you know that are not leaving their home and that really need food delivered to them. It's absolutely free. And I have been delivering to seniors in the area on Fridays, and there's about 6 to 7 bags of food that are being dropped off to each resident. So I recommend that to everybody. But we're just trying to be helpful to everybody however we can. And things have been pretty steady. So that's kind of where we're at.
Thanks, Bonnie. And both you and Home Health Depot, Adam Chiropractic and Home Health Depot are considered essential services. So you guys have your modified schedules and spacing and distancing and all that, but still serving a need to help people in this time of need. So, and then I know you did touch on, thanks for touching on Community's Child. Is anybody here on the call from Community's Child? I know Tara was supposed to join us. So I wanted to hear an update from her, but if not, then between myself and Bonnie, we can improvise.
Yeah.
So Community's Child, if you're not aware of them, is very active here in the South Bay, Lomita and Torrance, and serving our community through food pantries, shelter for women and their children, and also with meal deliveries, as Bonnie said. And they're partnering up with Kiwanis actually later on today, and it looks like they may be doing these for on a weekly basis on Thursdays at 5 p.m. and another shift at 5:45, where they're having hot meals given to those who sign up through Community's Child. And they actually have them line up, queue up in their car, and they go to the Kiwanis Club here in Lomita on Narbonne Avenue to get their hot meals. So this Thursday tonight, it's all booked. There's at least 100 people who are getting hot meals through the program, and volunteer, task force, all organized. And so Alfredo's is actually the restaurant that's providing the hot meals tonight, another Lomita restaurant. And I forget the restaurant on tap for next week, but it's a nice collaboration between a very generous donor in the Community's Child, and Kiwanis to get hot meals available for people, in addition to all the great work the Community's Child and that team are doing with the food pantry and pickup. So it's just been amazing seeing the amount of resources and things come together during this time, and I think it's important for us to be aware of those. If we need it, if we know somebody who needs it, if we want to give back and support. And we're trying our best here at the Chamber to track all of these resources and put them on our website. So we have a business resource page, a community resource page, and then how you can support businesses that are open. So, so with that, thank you, Bonnie, for sharing, and thanks for all you're doing in our community. If you don't know Bonnie, she's all over social media and super active and doing some great things, very inspiring to us all. So. Jeff, do we have Anita back on the line?
Can you hear me?
There she is. All right,
Okay.
Miss Anita.
Hi, everyone. This is Anita Chun with Torrance Memorial. I'm in the Health Education Department. I am representing, I guess, myself and then also Danielle Bujukian in our public relations. She's a little overwhelmed at these right now, so I'm taking it for the hospital. First of all, we have to say thank you to the community for being a really great resource, and for those businesses and organizations that have donated food and supplies to the hospital. We really, really appreciate it. And if anybody is interested in donating like a cloth mask, we all have to wear it now, so we are accepting homemade cloth masks. You could, connect with me, or you can actually go on our website and look at the COVID-19 section, and then look at how to do a donation to the hospital. We're still accepting it. What we'll do is we will take the mask, we will sterilize it, and then distribute it to staff. Since we have to wear one every day, it's nice to have more than two. So thank you. In terms of other community resources, everything that we have is on our website that we've been putting on there. And I have been sending out emails regarding resources for the community as well. If there's something you want me to highlight, feel free to email me and I will send it out to my community partners as well. But overall, thank you very much for the support, and we don't know how long this is going to go on for, so we'll see if we start opening up a little bit, maybe in May, but I don't anticipate like our exercise classes and some of our community classes to start until the summer.
And what are those community classes, Anita?
Oh, any of the exercise classes, like the Tai Chis or the yogas or any of the exercise classes, some of the gardening classes, we probably don't think that they will start until the summer.
And are you guys seeing, and I don't know, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but just kind of curious, are you guys seeing sort of any flattening in terms of the cases that you're seeing at Torrance Memorial, or?
I mean, I can't tell you the number of cases specifically, but staying at home does work, so keep at it. I know people are going crazy because the weather is nice outside, but really staying at home really does make a difference. It was kind of high, I would say, last week, and every day we check. It looks like it's going down, but, you know, there is a second wave, hopefully. They're predicting a second wave coming in the fall or late summer. So, you know, we're just trying to be really good about social distancing, washing your hands, you know, really try not to visit with people. We could be physically distanced, but still socially connected, right? So just trying to get people to really hang in there, because I know it's hard. You know, we haven't seen our friends and family for a little bit, but I think we just need to stay steadfast, or else this could spread a lot worse than we think it is.
So homemade masks are okay, and if somebody wanted to contact you, what's the best way to contact you to sort of orchestrate that?
You could email me at anita.chun, CHUN, @tmmc.com.
Okay, I've also put that in the chat for you guys. So we have the information to contact Anita from Torrance Memorial Medical Center, as well as Community's Child. Let's have our guests from Heister and Family Foundation, Dr. Ken Golden and Victor Nelson. If you guys want to unmute yourselves, you have the floor.
Thank you. My name is Ken Golden. I'm the I'm the senior advisor of Mr. Nelson. In the corner there on my screen anyway is the executive director. And we have a kind of a long history with Lomita. Our founder, Ken Discern, with the Discern Group, has development ongoing in the city. And so we've been very interested in maintaining our relationship with the city and helping in any way we can in terms of the well-being of the city. In relation to this crisis, our board just told us they wanted us to use all of our resources and funding in support of a few cities that that Ken Discern is involved in terms of the COVID-19 only. So all of our resources are being now directed towards that. And our strategy that Mr. Nelson and myself are taking is we're looking at it in two ways. We're looking at the immediate needs, the crises that are happening, the urgent needs. And then we're also looking at what are the longer term needs? What's the new normal going to, what kind of situations is that going to create for cities that we can help out? In terms of the urgent needs, we have actually already contributed 2,000 surgical masks to the city as well as to the citizens. In terms of the long-term needs, we also just launched a program that we're kind of excited about called Sheltered in Place Face to Face. we have gotten a number of volunteer artists, a dozen or so volunteer artists, musicians, and writers, and they have agreed to donate their time to provide face-to-face online instruction to citizens, to anyone, free. Keyword free. They're highly trained, and our point is to try and reduce the isolation and the consequences, the negative consequences of isolation over time that we're beginning to see. So this resource, Shelter in Place, face-to-face, as I said, is a one-to-one. It's done on Zoom with very experienced artists, and as I said, free. And we, I think you included a segment in the last newsletter, how you can contact us. If not, if you're not familiar with it, you can go to PICERNFoundation.org, PICERNE, PICERNFoundation.org, and go to programs and then to Shelter in Place face-to-face. We have a lot of capacity to help people. We have lots of artists, but it is a first come, first serve. So if you yourselves or you know anyone who would like that, children, adults, we have some seniors. We also have some of the artists are bilingual. So please take advantage of that service. We're kind of opening it to yourselves. We've tested it now, and we're opening it to Lomita, and hope you'll be interested in that. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you, Ken. Victor?
I don't have anything to add. Ken has it. I appreciate being here, though.
Thank you so much. And I know that if anybody does need access to the masks, and thank you so much for being so generous with your support in that regard, Ken and Victor, and to the PICERN Family Foundation, or PICERN, correct? PICERN.
Yes.
There you go.
If I could say one other thing, when we talked to Ryan about this, our strategy, he actually recommended we sit in, and that's why we are with the Recovery Task Force. And so that's our own interest is how we can help in that process.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. So if anybody wants to reach out to the chamber, if you have a need for masks, I know that maybe Ken and Victor, I don't know if you know this, but 150 of those masks are being given to the effort happening tonight with the Community's Child and the Kiwanis hot meal pickup.
Great.
So already that's working, and if you guys or you know anybody out there, guys, please email hi at, I'll type it here in the chat again, it's a long message with resources, hi at lomitachamber.org, and then we can orchestrate how to get the masks to you. I know Community's Child has a need for that well beyond just tonight at their hot meal event. So okay, Eric, can you please approve people in the waiting room? It takes a team, doesn't it? All right. Thank you so much for the share. And yeah, the genesis of these community calls came out of our outreach to Ryan and Alicia with the City of Lomita to start a dialogue, what recovery looks like, and creating a recovery task force. We want, the stakeholders in the community, certainly the business owners, but really all of us looking at this collectively and figuring out what the new normal is going to be. And we don't have answers yet, but at least we can start talking about that and keeping an open and flexible mind to what we need to do as a community and as a city in partnership with our businesses as well to create hopefully a strong economic future and still have an environment that's a good place to enjoy because we love our community. So with that, oh, great. Okay. Thanks, Jim. Jim has masks as well. He just posted on the chat. So we have a lot of great resources on this call. All right. So we're going to shift gears a little bit here. What I'd like to do is give an opportunity before we hand it over to Alicia with the city. I'd like to give an opportunity to some of the business owners who are on the call. Just as a chance to tell people here on this call that you're open, how you're serving your clients safely. It's an opportunity to give you a little bit of exposure. It's not going to be a bunch of time. We have to be sensitive to our schedule. So What I'd like to do is you can raise your hand, and then I will pick whoever I see first. We'll kind of go in order if you'd like to say a few words about your business and how you're serving your community at this time. Any hands going up? I know there's some on the phone, so you'll have to either send me a chat or mute yourself. Shira, I'm going to unmute you, I think.
I'm sorry, I muted myself. But yeah, my name is Shira. I'm actually here from Express Employment Professionals. Our owner is Larry Halverson. So I'm here on his place. I am a staffing consultant for his franchise. So we're a staffing company where we help businesses find workers, and then we help people find work. With the whole virus going on, we do have a lot of people who are looking for work. So if you know somebody if you or somebody you know needs somebody that needs help, we have a whole bunch of associates who are ready to work, and they're available. We have people who can do admin work, customer service, warehouse people, even people that do assembly. So if you know anybody, or if your company needs any type of help, you can reach us at our website, expresspros.com, and you just have to pick Torrance, and then you'll be able to contact us. Our information is all on there. You can speak to our development manager. His name is Rick. But yeah, all our phone numbers on there. So just reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to help. So.
Thank you, Shira. If you want to put your contact information in the chat for everyone to see, that would be helpful too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I'll tell Larry you did a great job.
Thank you.
All right, any other hands out there? Let me see here.
Hello, I can't raise my hand because I can't see the button that
I just meant your real hand, Steve. Go ahead.
So I raised, here's my real hand. So it's been a while since we spoke, Heidi. I just wanted to let it out that, things are not stopping. In fact, all the talk is for reopening as slow as it's going to be or as fast as it's going to be. But I actually am involved in lots of transactions now, simply because I have a lot of folks that are involved in importing PPE and also in other products, such as food products, which obviously we can't live without. So the clock hasn't struck 12. There are opportunities for things to go forward at different paces. And my conversation with Heidi previously was representing the Beverly Hills Bar to be able to make presentations. In this case, it would be virtual presentations on topics that the chamber membership would find interesting under the rubric of legal issues. We also have a whole program. Heidi mentioned to me that you have a nascent incubator there with 20 companies. We have a whole program which is specifically geared only for small companies with tremendously slashed prices only for those that qualify. So the intent here is really to be enablers. And I think that during this period of time, well, perhaps we can't touch and feel each other, but we're all trying to use the tools that we're privileged to have to really keep business going and to be able to build towards actually a re-entrance, which is going to be propitious. So whatever we can do to help in this respect, please share with us. Heidi, I know you're juggling a lot of balls right now, but it's still very important that we, at the same time we're keeping safe, we're also thinking in terms of living within the new normal and getting products and services out and going forward.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Stephen, for that. And it's interesting. Stephen and I were trying to find a way to collaborate and bring some of those resources to you, and then this thing all hit. But we're not stopping. It is our mission, obviously, to bring those forward. So we look forward to future collaborations and bringing those legal resources together. The legal stuff just doesn't stop even in the midst of a crisis. It's still critical to have all that. So thanks for sharing, Stephen. I'm going to go next to Dee Dee McGuire, and then Linda, you'll be next, okay? Okay, go ahead, Dee Dee.
Hey everyone, I'm with a financial advisor with New York Life, and we handle life insurance, long-term care, and investments. A lot of people are contacting me that have been putting off their getting life insurance, and it's a critical time. The company is approving people, and we've made some provisions to make it easier for you to get insured. So if you were thinking about insurance for yourself or to protect your business, you know, what would happen to you? What would happen to your business if something happened to you? So please reach out to me. Also giving people tips on how to manage their 401ks and investments right now, which could be helpful. Doing everything on Zoom, and it's working out really well. I'm really grateful that my business has not been impacted by this tragedy. My company just set up a program where they're awarding grants to the families of healthcare workers that have lost a loved one. So if you know anyone that has lost a loved one to coronavirus that is in the healthcare profession, they could be eligible for a grant through our new program called Braveheart Foundation. So I would love to share that resource with you. I also am hosting a financial seminar tomorrow for women at 4 p.m. And we are hosting a seminar with you guys, webinar on May 8th called Getting Your Financial Footing. So would love to be a resource to any of you with any questions. And thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you, Heidi.
Go ahead and put your contact information in the chat. And then Miss Linda, you're next.
Hi, I'm Linda Chanrap, and I'm representing the Friends of Lomita Library. And one of our projects that we're working on, since the library system is shut down for the pandemic, is we always have an annual honorary tea in the fall. And this year we're going to have as a theme honoring our hometown heroes. And so we are hoping to get help from people in the Chamber of Commerce that know of people who are working the front lines, either grocery stores or essential services or medical front lines, to let us know the names of people in Lomita that we could honor. And this is or military, first responders like firefighters, police officers, things like that. And the email that you can send those referrals to is friends.of.lomita.library@gmail.com. And then the second group that I'm speaking for is Disability Voices United, because of the groups that have been at high risk or impacted more intensely by this virus situation are people with disabilities. And this organization, Disability Voices United, has been hosting webinars each week on different topics, health and education services. This next seminar coming up is going to be on how the crisis has impacted people from ethnicities disproportionately. So I'll put the link to the Disability Voices United site in the chat also.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thanks for that update. We appreciate hearing from the Friends of the Lomita Library. Okay, I'm going to shift gears because I'm cognizant of our time, and I want to make sure that we have an opportunity for Alicia Velasco to share an update from the city of Lomita. So Alicia, you have the floor.
Great, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, wonderful. First off, I just wanted to say thank you to the Chamber, to the Concern Foundation, Community's Child, and the Kiwanis. Like, the partnership that we've had with all of you with the city has really been spectacular during this time. We have referred seniors to the food program with Community's Child, and the Concern Foundation has helped the city access, I think, 2,000 masks. They could clarify that we're handing out to the community. So we're just a great partnership, and just very thankful to have these types of groups here with the city. Okay, switching gears. how is the city functioning, in case some people want to know? We are mostly operational. If you needed to call City Hall, we are doing a staggered schedule. So there's always someone to answer the phone at City Hall and take payments, water bill payments, any other payments you may owe to the city. And then also the admin staff up front know our schedules, so they can direct people who are calling to the most appropriate department at the right time. I will say, though, that our phone systems are not working very well in sending our work voicemails to our emails. So the best way for the public to get a hold of us at this time is through email. And all our email addresses are on the city website and the various departments. Also, the Parks Department is something important to talk about. All the classes obviously are currently canceled, and it's unfortunate, but we have had to cancel all special events through the end of summer. There might be an opportunity to bring some of the class programming back in summer if it can be done safely with proper social distancing, and if, you know, the LA County Health Department relaxes some of the orders. But the city did not feel that large-scale events such as Founders Day would be able to be managed, you know, with this uncertain time. So all special events with the city are canceled through the end of summer. Public Works Department is also functioning. You know, if you have tree issues, water issues, street issues, they are staggering their hours, the field crew. That way we can operate safely and social distance as much as possible. They're essential workers. You know, if a water main breaks, they have to go and fix it. So they are, you know, doing that to the best of their ability. But just know that if you need to call City Hall, we are still here and available for the public. There's also a website, which I can put in the chat box. It's lomitacoronavirus.info. And that has the latest updates on how City Hall is functioning during this time. I'm obviously I'm the Community and Economic Development Department. So that's planning, code enforcement, building and safety. And we're functioning remotely, but operating at pretty much 100%, just via Zoom and phone and email. Okay, so that was my update on City Hall. I did see Paul Roback's question, and I can answer that question. He had asked about the supermarket there at Pacific Coast Highway in Narbonne that used to be the Albertsons. So there was a parking lot issue, you're right, that had resulted in a lawsuit, and that was the problem. Which why it was holding up new tenants. However, that has since been resolved. But, you know, lawsuits take a long time. So that's been resolved, and there's not a parking lot issue any longer. However, it's just been, you know, the economy right now has really seen for retail, high end and low end is what's really been taking off. You know, you're seeing a lot of Sprouts and Whole Foods and grocery outlets. And so, unfortunately, Lomita kind of fits right in the middle, and the Ralphs and Vons are not expanding right now. So we are working on it with the property owner. You know, as much as possible. They obviously have full rights over who they want to lease to. We're telling them that it is a high priority and that the city, you know, is there, and we'll try to come to the table to address any concerns that a tenant might have. So we're working on it, but the parking lot issue has been resolved. And then, Paul, we can discuss this separately offline. Thank you. Okay, and then lastly, I wanted to give an update. LA County, the county, it's called LACDA. It's the LA County Development Authority. They had their own small business loan programs, which were funded through CDBG funds. And those were the $20,000 grants, $20,000 loans, which had a 1-year deferment and then 5 years to pay back. And the interest rate was 75% of prime. So that's actually a pretty good loan program, but unfortunately they ran out of money, I've been told. But they might get more money as part of this new second round of funding. So on LACTA's website, for the small business owners, you have to have less than 25 employees, I believe. On their website, it looks like they are still taking applications, and I can put that website address here in the chat box. It does look like they are taking applications, but I've heard the money has run out. But separately from that, the city of Lomita was given some funds, or will be getting funds, we haven't gotten them yet, from that LACTA Community Development Block Grant Program, which the city will be able to distribute. So we are working on a program which will likely be similar to that county program, since we know that that program has already been approved by the county and we would have to be approved also. So it seems like the most efficient thing to do would be to, copy one of their already approved programs. However, we're hashing that out now, and we'll go to the city council likely on May 5th. So if we have a call after May 5th, I have an update on that program, but that's pretty exciting. And hopefully the city will have some funds for recovery. And that is all, unless anyone has specific questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Alicia. That's the name of the game, everybody, just trying to find these different financial assistance opportunities. And they're all very different. Okay, so I see a lot of great information. Thanks for all the sharing in the chat, guys. This is great. Jim Leadham, will the Lomita program through the city be a grant or a loan? That's a loan, correct, Alicia?
Sorry, Helen. Okay. You know what? Currently it is a loan. However, we are working to see if it could be a grant. So that's actually one of the things up in the air. If it could, and also some other things with the loan. There's no collateral required, no loan origination fees either. It's supposed to be a fairly streamlined process.
Okay. Paul, I see you unmuted. Did you have another question?
No, I just want to say thanks to Alicia for all her efforts and all her updates. Thanks so much, Alicia. I know you folks at City Hall are working hard, even though you're working remotely. So thanks again. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. TNT Insurance, are you raising your hand, lovely people?
Thank you. Hi, it's Ted. Hi, Linda Neal and Ted Talbot. I know we're running out of time, and with regards to the charity that I witnessed in the beginning of everything, I specifically was looking at my mobile home clients, and everything got managed, and Bonnie and Jamie Waller, and then another charity stepped up and took care of Little Sisters of the Poor. So all of that is wonderful to witness the kindness. But I do want to mention, while it's still in the works in terms of carriers determining what they're going to do with regards to, I don't want to call it rebate, but refund of customers' monies for March and April are the two firm months that I've heard. We don't know. Some things are so fluid. But watch for your carriers to give you some kind of a credit or refund if you've paid. So for those who are no longer commuting, because the insurance carriers have reaped in some benefits for us not commuting anymore. The claims, the losses are down. So they're giving back. However, I'm still doing my research with the Department of Insurance because there are still some pending, figuring out what they're going to do. I can mention that Travelers has committed to at least March and April a 15% discount. I don't have all of the other ones down because, like I say, it's kind of fluid, but watch your policies. This is also a perfect time to whip out those policies, since sometimes we are running out of things to do since we can't go and run and operate our business. But pull out your policies, do a review. Feel free to call us. We'll be happy to give you quotes and see if we can save you money. I don't want to mention that carrier, but and we are totally virtual. So that means internet, right? We don't have to be face-to-face with our customers. I always prefer it. I always like to make sure, sometimes you can talk over the phone, but seeing their body language, you can tell when they understand what they've got. Okay, so we miss that. I miss that, but we do what we have to do, and they know that we're here. Okay.
One other quick thing to look at, especially on businesses, I was just reading that I thought LA County started working out with, at least I thought California work comp, that they were discussing employees that were furloughed or downsizing in their hours and so forth, that they may not need to be reported. So check with your carriers on that as a heads up for all the businesses out there.
That's great advice. Thanks so much, Ted. I appreciate you guys sharing that, and Linda.
Everybody take care.
Yeah, and certainly you can talk to these guys if you need any help in that area as well. But that's part of sort of the survival tip we gave at the last community call we did, was look where you may be able to save a little money here and there, and these things are shifting and adjusting to our current state. So, okay. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It looks like we've pretty much answered all the questions I see. But I did want to, oh, Jim has another one.
I put that in the chat for both you and Alicia about the application for the City of Lomita.
Yeah, so that went out to everyone. Alicia responded that she's still working on the details, but she should have more information after May 5th.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Eric, can I have you give us an update on the farm box and then the Great Lomita Eats takeout?
So there's two things. The Lomita Farmers Market obviously has been delayed, and as a stopgap measure, we're working with our market manager to come up with he's calling it a farm box. It's basically a produce box, which I think is priced about $30. And it contains eggs and vegetables and a bunch of other stuff. And we are ideally going to launch that relatively soon. It'll be a pickup or delivery option, just to get some fresh veg and eggs out to local residents. And what was the other thing, Heidi?
The Great Lomita Eats takeout.
Oh yeah. So don't tell anyone, but every Thursday, we're going to be promoting the Great Lomita Eats Takeout, which is obviously a spin on the Great American Takeout, or a direct riff off of that. And so we've been advertising and promoting it. We're trying to get as many businesses, ideally restaurants and beverage companies, to add themselves to the LomitaEats.com. That's LomitaEats.com website. We've got about 60 businesses, mostly restaurants up there right now, and it's a directory, it's searchable, and the idea behind the Great Lomita Eats Takeout is that you will go out and either call ahead or just pick up or order delivery from local Lomita businesses.
So all of those resources can be found on the Chamber's website, lomitachamber.org. Eric, could you put the links to some of those there? And we are still working with the farmers market manager. So you'll either receive a notice via email or check our website, or we're on Facebook as well. I wanted to make sure we gave Esther Hatch a chance to say a few words. I think she was raising her hand, but since we can't see her lovely face, luckily Bonnie said, hey, Esther's on the line. She wants to say something. So go ahead, my dear.
Hi, everybody. Esther Hatch with Lomita Magnet. I want to thank everybody for all their help and all their resources for our community. Currently, we're working to get all technology in the hands of students. Most have been distributed, of all the students that need technology at home. As you know, remote learning, there's challenges, there are some struggles, but we're persevering, and hopefully the kids will stay on track as best as possible. Currently, we have a parent who reached out to our school and spoke with administrators. She lost her place in March. Well, she just lost her place in March when she lost her job. So if there are any resources out there for a mother of 3 and their 3 small children, I would greatly appreciate that help. It really hurts my heart to know that there's somebody within our community that is struggling and suffering right now during this critical time. So I'm doing everything I can to coordinate some kind of relief for her through the PTA. But that's currently the situation we have right now. I mean, I'm sure there's other families, but we're doing our best to navigate and pinpoint who they are and what they may need. But this particular mom reached out to us, so I just wanted to share that with you. And I just want to thank everybody for their continued support of Lomita Magnet and Lomita Magnet Leopards. We love to roar in the community, so thank you.
Esther, did you want to share your contact information if anybody has a connection per your request? Do you want to put it, we can put it in the chat for you.
Figure out how to do that.
Well, why don't you want to just tell it to me and I'll type it as you're talking?
Sure. e.cepedahatch@lausd.net.
CEPEDA Hatch is all one word?
CEPEDA Hatch, all one word. CEPEDAHATCH.
At lausd.net.
Yes.
Okay, you're in the chat.
Perfect, thank you, I see it.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much, Esther, and thanks for all the work you do for our students and our youth in our community and serving Lomita Magnet and those leopards very well.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys, so we're wrapping up a little bit here. Unless I see any hands or see somebody unmute themselves who's on the phone for a chance to say a few words, I'm going to transition here. Okay. Going once, going twice. Scott, you have 2 minutes. 1 minute. Go ahead. How are you, my friend?
Actually, we're doing very well. And the big events that we have booked for the weekends, weddings and all these big companies and all these magazines that hire us to do all these huge events, that's obviously been put aside. But the daily business, there's a lot of companies that there's no way to get food. So we've been delivering, 300-400, meals a day, and they're in large groups. So we'll do 400 of the same thing in individual boxes, but things have actually turned around pretty well. We're doing some takeout, but it's just not that much. But the deliveries, my God, there's people every day needing it, and we got a full-on staff. I mean, we're basically just about, we're not doing the huge, $15,000 weddings, but we're doing, $8,000 deliveries, 4 times a week. So,
well, and for those who don't know, that's Scott Fellows. He's the owner of Critics' Choice Catering. They're based in North Redondo Beach, and they've been very supportive of the Chamber. They've been supportive of our businesses over the years. I've known Scott for a while now, and they've been in business for quite a long time. And I did hear as well, Scott, did you not donate some food to one of our local causes here?
We're doing first responders.
Yeah.
And, every time there's a certain group of companies that we tell them that every time they order, we will give 2 meals to first responders. So they're ordering, 4 times a week, and do that over a course of a month. There's like 30, 40 meals that we're delivering to the fire station or the police station, and all this stuff they're just, when they say yes, they hug. They're just very happy. And, criticschoicecatering.com, and we got a new set of brochures, all the stuff that we put together, all the special events. You can take a look at it. It's beautifully colorful, and it's very easy to understand, and it's good to look at.
And by the way, the food is good too.
Very good. I just wish there was another chili cook-off that I could enter and win.
There you go. Scott, thank you so much for being here. We're going to wrap it up now. It's good to see you, Scott. So I just want to take a minute to say a few things. We want you to make good use of the resources that are out there. That was part of the reason for this call. And there are ways to support we can support each other, of course, to get through this together. The Chamber is here for you. We're reaching out to people in our community and businesses, members or not. This is part of why we're here. So please remember to visit the website. We have a business resources page. We have a community resources page. We're going to post some of these links that we've shared here to those pages as well. The Lomita Eats program, support your local restaurants. And we are having a virtual Let's Be Happy Hour next Wednesday, the 29th, from 5:30 to 6:30. And so we're encouraging people to join. It's going to be via Zoom, just like this, with a lot more tiles, I'm sure. And we encourage you to pick up your favorite food, beverage, or retail item at your local business and bring it to the call, so we can all hold up our favorite items, and then we're going to do a little raffle prize around that for those who actually show their local love for the places that we want to support. So again, we want to do these maybe every couple of weeks or so without inundating everybody, because we're Zooming a lot these days, but it's a good way to stay connected and to answer these questions and connect it with the City of Lomita and our generous contributors to our community. So the dialogue is open. What else do you guys want to see on these calls? I would love to hear from you. You can email hi@lomitachamber.org, or just reply to your Eventbrite notice that you got through this Zoom call and let us know what you want to see. We may bring back our SBA expert and advisor for an update next time, but it goes beyond just the financials. It's how can we help each other. So this was a great update. I just want to thank all of our guests who spoke today, all of you for participating, and thank you, Alicia, for being here from the City of Lomita. Don't hesitate to call us or contact us. And with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. You guys be safe and have a wonderful rest of your day and week. Thank you so much for being here.